The idea to first be in a band was like 6th grade for me, I want to say. And none of us played instruments, we just wanted to be in a band. Mostly we drew pictures of like what our album artwork would look like, and that was about it. We actually did start a band, and then that band was called The Broken Skyline, and that's actually when we broke out and started actually playing things and actually, for lack of a better word, singing. None of it was on time, it was all horrible, the songs were bad. So yeah, it's actually just about the same as it is now. That was kind of when we realized that being in a band would be a really cool thing. Unfortunately, it was not the time when we realized that being in a band meant that you actually had to be, you know, talented.
I wanted to be in a band because I wasn't good at anything else. I wanted to be in sports for a while. I was juggling, in middle school I was juggling lacrosse and drums, and we all know how that went. I don't like lacrosse anymore, but I do like drums, and so I pursued that instead.
I'd actually just recently quit another band that I'd been in because I wasn't like happy with a lot of the stuff that was going on, just personal reasons mostly. And I saw that they were looking for new members, and I was like, oh, hey, those guys were kind of popular, and I kind of remember liking their music, and I kind of know them already, so might as well try. And it was kind of like a last-ditch effort for me, but yeah, so I went out for it, and now I'm here.
I didn't really know what I was getting into until I like came in and kind of interviewed, more like tried out for the band, and once we started playing and I got to knowing them, that's when I knew I wanted to be a part of Almost Maine. So
it was just Dave and I knew we still wanted to go through with this, and I know he was still very committed into it, and I believe that no matter what happened, like I know even just the two of us could do it. We talked a long time after that, just in that in-between period, whether we'd go on and just be a two-piece or we would, you know, go get people. Obviously we got new people, which I'm ultimately much happier with.
They kind of brought me into the whole audition like as a formality, like they were just gonna say no, they weren't really planning on letting me in, and then throughout the course of the interview process with them and the audition, they were like, we really like this guy, he can really play, and we need a second opinion, so they brought me in with their manager at the time. He gave them the okay on me, so that's how I got in.
I was such a mess. Like, I'm not good in social situations, and I'd never met these guys beforehand. It was all done through email up until I actually came here to like try out. Nerves were all over the place. Like, just wasn't good. And then we started playing, and I messed up a bunch, and they seemed to not mind. Like, I thought I did awful, but they're like, "That was great, man." Like, just really inspiring. So once they told me I was in, I was like, man, like they're either really desperate or I did a good job.
My favorite thing is people are for some reason excited to see you, like when you play shows. I don't know why. It's funny to see people get really excited for that, and I'm just like, I'm a person. Yesterday I did nothing but eat Cheez-Its, watch TV, and sleep, I guess.
My favorite part is it's like a home away from home. It's like having a second family. You know, it's this brotherhood of guys that, you know, we probably never would have met if not for music.
It's amazing. Like, there are a lot of people out there. If I'm ever having a bad day and like somebody I don't know finds out, like if they're a fan of the band, they're always there to make sure like that all of us are okay, and like they really make life a lot better.
A live show is very energetic. It's not like, it's about playing the songs and it's about being on time and on key, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that people are enjoying the show and that everybody's having fun and that we're having fun. But recording is a lot different too, because it's everybody getting into a room and it's like all this excitement for the song that's building up. We have all these awesome things going on in the background, like we have whooshes and you know, you get to do all this layering, and it's really fun to be able to sit down and just like hone in on your skills and be like, hey, we really made this song sound awesome. And so it all comes together. Live is when it's really, really brought out to be like experienced.
Getting on stage, like just the initial getting on stage and just starting to play, even though I'm wearing like in-ear monitors and I can't like hear all that well, I can still hear a lot of screaming, and it makes me happy.
Free music. Ah!
So right now, we're handing out these business cards, and that's the back, that's the front. We're handing them out to this massive line. We've been here pretty much all day doing this. There's like 3 different kinds of promoting when it comes to a show. There's how we do it, which is where we're really just looking to get our name out there, and like we want to make personal connections with people. Then there's the people who are just doing it because they literally just want to get their names out, and they're just like a guy back there just got irritated because we were promoting in the same space as him. It's like it's a little bit silly. And then you have the people who come to shows and sell stuff outside of it, which I think is really wrong, because the people here, the bands that are inside, worked really hard to get where they are, and it's not fair that their potential money is being taken away by people outside selling CDs. So it's all about being in the right mindset and having the right kind of heart for what you're doing.
I think at Buffalo Wild Wings we have their primary source of income at this point, because Steven always orders like three different kinds of wings and an appetizer and beer and soda and water. Water doesn't cost anything, but the rest does. And so Steven's meal alone is like $43,000.
We go to Buffalo Wild Wings and keep Steven from using the claw machine. Steven's, he has issues.
We spend a lot of time making fun of each other.
Look at him.
Oh, sorry, I'm not being annoying enough. My Adam impression.
A lot of times in our free time, David usually ends up either working or with his girlfriend because he's the only one who has a girlfriend, or he's doing school stuff because he's the only one who cares about school. So me and Adam and Michael, we all go out. We go out for dinner almost every week after band practice together. We used to go to Jump Street, and David usually joined us for that. When it's fun things, David wants to be around, but when it's just, us hanging out.
Okay, so now we're going to come show you the basement, which is our practice space. We're over at Adam's house. Before we go down, I'd like to point out they have 2 copies of every single movie. By every single movie, I mean just like a lot of these movies. Yeah. No one's sure why. It's one of the mysteries from the great beyond of Adam's house. We think ghosts. So anyway,
And a lot of storage moving around is happening.
Yeah, lots of storage. So this is kind of our old equipment. Some of it's our old equipment. This
And
is our
my
old, old mixer.
My sister just moved back in from college, so.
Yeah. We have a lamp. This is our lamp. We love lamp. This is kind of the practice space. It's not huge, but it's something. We got all the soundproofing up over here, and Adam's drums. We have it all mic'd up. He's got his own little mixer back there in the corner. These are Steven's vocals. We know this because it's striped in leopard print, or tiger print.
Green tiger
Because Steven would probably wear tiger print. So this is our refrigerator. It's not refrigerating things yet, but one day it will. This is your goal right here.
Alright.
God!
That was awful.
This is our in-ear system, or this is, well, actually our whole sound system for down here. And everything plugs into the front here, and we run our in-ears through this. Like I was saying, that's where these plug in. So really the only sounds that come out of down here now are the guitars and the drums. There's no vocals. If you walk down here, you wouldn't be able to hear vocals very well.
And that right there, I'm going to point to it. Is the drum I don't use.
And yeah, so we have all of our guitars hanging up. This is Michael's guitar right here, the white one, the first white one. And Steven's bass and my guitar. Then over here we have all the amps. This one's Michael's because he's homeless.
It's Steven's, but it's Michael's.
That one's actually Steven's bass rig, and it's kind of just tossed into the corner if we're being honest. This one's mine. It doesn't have the lids. The lids are over there, but my Almost Maine. What was it? It's the Almost Maine, the official Almost Maine athletic water bottle for the unathletic.
Yes.
All of our cords run underneath this mat because we don't want to trip and die. See, that's how many cords are coming out of underneath this rug, and we don't want to die.
Want to show them?
Yeah, we could show them. That's like a small portion of them,
Half of the cords that are under there.
if even.
Can you show them the consoles?
Oh yes. First, we'll start with this cool lamp. It's multicolored, kind of like us
Yes.
and our logo. This is the art rendition of our logo. Instead of being a heart, it's a square. Here we have all of the gaming systems and this little plaque that I just put up here like 10 minutes ago. So we have GameCube, all important. The Xbox 360, which gains dust. The Xbox One, which Adam's dad, I think, plays more than he does.
Yep.
We have the Wii U and the regular Wii. And the Wii U controller on the ground, as well as some other controllers. The Nintendo 64.
With Smash Brothers in it, according to
Yeah. And the TV that he plays it on, he actually plays it with the cases in the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, it's like if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's like if you can play N64 Mario, or if you can play N64 Smash Brothers, cases in the way, you can dodge a wrench.
If you can play N64 Smash Brothers at all, I'm impressed, because that game controls like...
And that's all for this week's episode of MTV Cribs.
Ding!
Having a plan B only distracts from plan A. You know, if you're passionate about something, if you love doing it, just do it. There's no reason you should not be doing it. If it's what you're really passionate about, there's not a thing in the world that can stop you from doing it.
Music means the world to me. I don't know why, it just does. I mean, it saved me, like, through a lot of dark stuff. Like, my sophomore year, my grandpa passed away and I lost a bunch of friends, and just everything bad that could happen that generally goes wrong in like a high schooler's life went wrong. So music and my friends were right there to help me through it, and they got me through a lot of horrible things. So I want to be able to do that for somebody else with the music that I make.
Music's important to me because music is universal. Music is something that you don't need words to understand how a song feels. You don't have to understand the language or understand what's going on, or even necessarily have lyrics at all in order to understand. You can tell the emotion of each movement to a piece. You can tell an entire story with, you know, either a single string or with a 300-piece orchestra.
I feel like it's a nice release of aggression, stress, and it lightens the mood for me because I enjoy doing it so much. As well as I know it kind of makes other people happy that I've seen, so it kind of motivates me to do it more, not only for myself, but because it makes people happy, so I want to do that more. Favorite thing, Steven?
That's what he said. That was his exact response. Mine works.
Refreshing. These still have something in them if you guys want.
Michael, get a haircut. I don't know when if you see this, but chances are when you hear me say that, you probably need a haircut.